Good morning, members. It's the appointed time and we have a quorum. We will start the first meeting of the panel on environmental affairs. Agenda item 1, election of chairman and deputy chairman for the 2026 session. The Secretariat has issued a notice to members stating that only one valid nomination was received by the close of nominations for the position of panel chairperson. The nominated member is Ms. Judy Chen. Ms. Judy Chen was nominated by Dr. Junius Ho, seconded by Ms. Vivian Kong. Ms. Judy Chen is not serving as chairperson or deputy chairperson of any other panels or government advisory bodies. So, I, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, declare Ms. Judy Chen elected as chairperson of the panel on environmental affairs for the 2026 session. Congratulations. Please come forward and chair the meeting.
跟住先講副主席嗰度先。
好，咁多位同事早晨。
Good morning, members. We will now begin the election for Deputy Chairperson of this panel for the 2026 session. The Secretariat has issued a notice informing members that only one valid nomination was received by the close of nominations for the position of Deputy Chairperson. The nominated member is Ms. Elizabeth Quat. Ms. Elizabeth Quat is nominated by Ms. Kwok Foo-young, seconded by Mr. Cheng Pak-chi. Ms. Elizabeth Quat is not serving as chairperson or deputy chairperson of any other panels or government advisory bodies. So I, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, declare Ms. Elizabeth Quat elected as deputy chairperson of the panel on environmental affairs for the 2026 session. Congratulations, Ms. Quat. During the 2025 session, regular meetings of this panel were normally held at 2:30 p.m. on the fourth Monday of each month. If members agree, we hope to continue with this arrangement. The proposed meeting schedule for the 2026 session is tabled in front of you. Please note that the fourth Monday of May is a public holiday, so the regular meeting in May will be rescheduled to a Friday. It will be held at 8:30 a.m. It's quite early because we cannot find other rooms for holding this meeting. Is that right? Oh, I think it clashes with a district council meeting, so we can only reschedule the meeting to this date. Please also note that the fourth Monday of December is the following day of a public holiday, so the regular meeting in December will be rescheduled to 4:30 p.m. on Monday, December the 21st. It's also a Monday, it's just that it will be held 2 hours later than usual. If members do not have particular comments, we will move on to the next agenda item. That's items for the policy panel or briefing. To let members understand better the government's policy directions, the Secretary for Environment and Ecology will brief the panel on his policy portfolio on Monday, January 26th from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. After next Monday, the next regular meeting of this panel will be held on Monday, the 23rd of February. It's just a problem with the seating plan. So the following regular meeting after next Monday is on the 23rd of February. The administration proposes to discuss the following 2 items. 1, work report on the development of beautiful bays, and 2, Hong Kong roadmap on popularization of electric vehicles. Do members agree? Yes, I think we can discuss the development of beautiful bays and EVs for that meeting. So the agenda items for the meeting on the 23rd of February is fixed, but for the future panel meetings, I think we can discuss what we want to talk about. So please press the request to speak button. I think there is some technical problem, so will members please raise their hands? Okay, the system is now working. I'll give each member 1.5 minutes. We'll begin with Mr. Gary Chen. Madam Chair, I want to propose 2 discussion items for the 2026 session. We talked about sewage collection system in rural areas in the past, and normally the government has to ask for funding approval from the Finance Committee, and before that we discuss it at the Works Committee. I want to know if there are any new ideas from the administration. Normally the government would propose building a big pipe, but there is usually a shortage of smaller pipes in rural villages. Can we focus on perhaps Tai Po district or Sai Kung district, because there are many villages without these sewage pipes or systems. We can talk about the priority as well as the relevant timetable for such discussion. Next, I'd also like to talk about the development of hydrogen energy in Hong Kong. I think the government has been working on this for about a year already. I want to know about the relevant progress. Will the government, for example, provide more policy support to the industry so that we can move faster in terms of developing new energy in Hong Kong, so that we can also mitigate pollution problems as well as climate change problems in Hong Kong? Next, Mr. Perry Yu. Madam Chair, I have been concerned about leisure fishing and leisure farming, as well as the synergy they can create with the tourism sector. I also think that we should review measures in relation to conservation, nature conservation, as well as conservation of ecotourism resources. I think we need a hardware support in order to develop ecotourism. I wonder if it is possible to set up a subcommittee under this panel to take forward the relevant work. This kind of work involves usually a lot of different bureaus, so I hope that we can discuss it together. I think we can make proposals for setting up subcommittees and submit them to the House Committee, because there are normally 10 subcommittees running at the same time. But I do think that we can submit our own proposals. Next, Dr. Hui Simon Lee. I also wish that we can talk about the development as well as application of new energy in Hong Kong. Next, Mr. Aaron Bok. First, I'm concerned about the construction costs in Hong Kong. I think we should lower the costs as much as possible. I want to know if the administration would review the EIAO technical memorandum requirements. We have to strike a balance between development and nature conservation. One example of reviewing the TM is that there is something called direct mitigation at source, which greatly increases the construction costs. So this is just one example of how we can review the TM. Next, turning to waste charging. I believe that the current term government will not carry on with this scheme. However, I think we still have to think of ways to encourage people to reduce waste production. Online shopping creates a lot of waste and garbage. People are of the view that if they recycle the garbage, it is environmentally friendly. However, I think we have to reduce waste at source. So, will the government roll out any incentives to encourage people to reduce waste? We have to come up with an KPI to make sure there is waste reduction. Next, Mr. Chen Shu-hong. I agree with Mr. Gary Chen that we have to discuss the development of hydrogen energy. The government has rolled out relevant policy initiative, and after that we've seen application of hydrogen energy in construction waste or in our transport system. I hope the administration can give us a report on the latest progress. I hope the Secretary could be more visionary. Instead of focusing on the application of hydrogen energy in Hong Kong, we should also talk about how we can form an industry chain with the GBA. Second, on waste charging as well as waste reduction, we understand that last January, the Hong Kong SAR government set up a dedicated thematic group with the Guangdong provincial government, and they have already started discussion about waste circulation and recycling. And as mentioned by other members, we need regional collaboration on waste reduction, on promoting waste recycling and developing the green industry with the GBA. I hope that the administration can give us a report on the latest progress. Thirdly, on IPARC 1 and IPARC 2, I hope the government can give us an update as well. Especially for IPARC 2, there were 2 delays in relation to the tendering exercise of IPARC 2. I hope the government can give us a report on this. Next, Ms. Carmen Khan. Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I hope the administration would give us a report on the situation of power supply in Hong Kong. This is a regular item for this panel. Apart from discussing the scheme of control agreement, I think we have to talk about how we can stabilize power supply. Second, last year we approved a subsidiary legislation under the producer responsibility scheme. I want to learn about the latest update. Thirdly, on carbon neutrality, I want to learn about the international standards as well as the national standards. I think the FSTB should keep us in line with these standards so that we can develop green finance in Hong Kong. Next, Mr. Bill Tang. On IPARC, we want to learn about the situation in Shek Kwu Chau, and I also support all these waste to energy facilities. Can we, however, have new technologies to facilitate that? Last year, we talked about whether it is possible to take forward reclamation works in Area 132 in Tseung Kwan O to import electricity from the mainland so that we can meet the targets of carbon neutrality and carbon emission reduction. Thirdly, on country parks, I want to know if there is room to amend the existing legislations. Thank you.
Ms. Elizabeth Quat. A few topics are
on my mind. First, as Mr. Bill Tang said, we need a timetable for eco-friendly power supply to Hong Kong. We would like an update. And also for hydrogen and new energy, we need an update on that. I also would like to discuss our landfills. Recently, Shenzhen has been using the waste in their own landfills and convert them to energy, and that frees up land. Do we have similar plans over here? So I would like some update from the Secretary for Environment and Ecology. And also country parks and ecotourism are also top of mind for me. Overseas, tourism is possible in country parks as long as they do not harm the environment, but there are all kinds of restrictions in Hong Kong's country parks, and that's holding back ecotourism. So we need a thorough review on that. Ms. Christine Fong. Power generation based on new energy is top of mind for me, and we will be talking about electric vehicles. So I'm wondering whether there will be subsidies for facilities that support EVs at flats, and also for ecotourism. Like we have initiatives like yacht tourism and also waterfront management. These are issues that I would like to discuss with the EEB. And finally, similar to what Mr. Bill Tang said, we need a review of our country parks. Let's also review our geopark. Can we review the laws about those parks? Mr. Lam Wai Kong. Thank you. 4 issues are on mind. The first one is talent for green industries. On the talent list, there are engineers, senior engineers for waste management, and then we also have different kinds of specialists for green shipping and other green industries. So my question is, in terms of nurturing talent for environmental science and nurturing local talent for the green industries, I would like to have a discussion about that. Other members have commented on new energy. Now, for commercial vehicles such as light goods vehicles, medium goods vehicles, and heavy goods vehicles, what's the policy goals and what's the policy philosophy on those issues? Finally, on recycling, for private flat, there's a trial scheme going on about recycling the food waste for flats. That scheme will run for 2 years, but some landlords don't want to shoulder the subsequent costs, so they pull out. Now we have paused the waste charging scheme, but we have to do something about food waste, so we should discuss that. Other members have also brought up ecotourism and country parks. I support that. Can we also review the transport links so that they can support ecotourism? Ms. Kwok Foo-yong. First of all, I congratulate the Madam Chair for being elected. Here are some things I would like to discuss at this panel. As other members have said, it's about waste reduction and recycling. Aside from recycling, waste reduction is also important. Now we have recycling spots and recycling machines across the city. Now for older districts and pencil blocks and single block buildings, we should discuss their recycling and waste reduction. Now for waterfront management like Tsuen Wan and Kwai Tsing, people are concerned about the stench at the waterfront, so let's keep an eye on those issues. The next point has to do with construction waste and industrial waste. Such waste has been dumped where they should not be, so let's focus on that. Now for our major infrastructure projects, which are due for completion soon, those places are close to where people live, so we get air pollution issues, we get noise. So at this panel, let's talk about noise barriers, green belt, and also noise and air impact assessment. Let's find ways to mitigate the impact of those infrastructure projects on people's lives. Next, Professor James Lau. I want to talk about incineration. We used to have incineration for sludge. And Ms. Elizabeth Kwok just mentioned how Shenzhen is converting waste into energy. I know iPark 1, or no, the facility at Shekuchao is already in operation. So let's look at incineration in the context of waste reduction and recycling. So, more incineration. Mr. Lothair Lam. My concern is promoting the overall development of new energy vehicles. So we used to have a fund for new energy vehicles. We will do a new round to subsidize the sector to purchase new energy vehicles. Now for methanol vehicles, cars running on methanol is also a form of new energy vehicles, and that helps with decarbonization. Our country is a leader. So apart from promoting EVs and hydrogen vehicles, can we also give thought to learning from the mainland's experience in terms of methanol-powered vehicles? My next point has to do with aviation. Now we have sustainable aviation fuel. SAF is underused in Hong Kong. Can we promote the use of SAF in Hong Kong in our aviation sector? That's my concern. Next, Mr. Jonathan Leung. Now my concern is food waste recycling as well as support for restaurants. Can we do an incentive scheme? Now, food waste recycling is a major burden on restaurants, especially for small and medium restaurants. Can we have incentives? Can we have more promotion to encourage those restaurants to take part in food waste recycling? Mr. Chen Pok-ji, can we switch on the microphone of Mr. Chen Pok-ji, please? Am I coming through? Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. I thank Mr. Yu for bringing up his points. Island tourism is also top of mind for me. We should do island tourism. Thank you. Mr. Chen Pok-ji. Oh, it was just fat finger. So I have got the views of all members. I will join Ms. Elizabeth Kwok for a meeting with the administration. At that meeting, we will discuss the views we have received, and then we will be scheduling meetings to discuss those matters. Just to add something to a point raised by Mr. Perry Yu. Last week, the chairperson of the House Committee also discussed this point. Once the proposals are received, the House Committee will fully consider all the proposals, and then they set the priorities. So if anyone has any proposal, the proposal should be submitted in writing to the Secretariat by Friday, February 6th. That proposal should cover the terms of reference, the timetable, and work plan for any such subcommittee. Those subcommittees are expected to complete their work within 12 months. So members should coordinate among themselves and then submit a written proposal. Last item on the agenda. So for these subcommittees under panels to study policy issues, each subcommittee is subject to a cap of 20 members. More than half of those members should be panel members. Non-panel members can also be on those subcommittees, but there have to be more panel members than non-panel members. Any other business? No other business? I adjourn the meeting here. Thank you.